Great to see you at Collectomania, Fintan. What was it about playing Amory Lorch that you enjoyed in Game of Thrones?
I loved my horse. His name is Spiky. And he's actually from Milton Keynes. Yeah. He's white and he's called Spiky, and that's because his mane is spiked. And he was from Romania, and I think his brother was called Flathead. And but I loved. I didn't ride prior to that, and so I learned to ride. So I like to think for Amory Lorch. So that was the best part of it.
How did you find that then, learning to ride?
Terrifying at first. I thought, game's up, it's over, give it up. You can't ride, it's finished. There's going to be 2-3 million down the drain tomorrow when you fall off in the middle of a scene. And I stayed on, hit the mark, as they say, said the line, and 2 weeks later I was kind of reversing the horse and sort of playing around with them. So that was the most interesting thing. Some great actors on it as well. And I think some of the other actors in the first season I wasn't in, I was amazed at the performances. Actors who are really good, well, just, downright brilliant in it.
Your co-stars you mentioned on the show, of course you're working with people like Charles Dance and Maisie Williams. What was it like with those guys?
Maisie is fabulous, such an intuitive talent, young, uninhibited, just amazing. Charles is very mercurial. He's different with one character and the next character and the next character. You just don't know what to expect. So you're being very kind of cautious. But we had great fun in it, fabulous production design. So you find yourself in these caverns that are lit in a very mysterious way. And you're trying to figure the light out. And you're going, Charles, I can't see you. You're in the dark. It's all right. I can see you, Fintan. And just amazed by the production design and just being in this other world.
What did you think about your own death? Death by poison darts?
Cheap trick. It should have been the bear. In the book, it's a bear. Yeah. But I would have liked to have taken on the bear. I think I would have given the bear a really good, it would have been me versus the bear.
Maybe it would have been a different ending than in the book as well.
Possibly, yeah. I could have dragged the bear through the village or something,
Now, we spoke to Joe Dempsie, who obviously Amory Lorch is looking out for Gendry earlier in the year, and he said he misses you from the show because he loved your line, "I'm looking for a bastard named Gendry." He's going to miss you saying that again. So can you say it for us and Joe today?
I'm looking for a bastard named Gendry.
If you could bring anyone back apart from Amory, who would you bring back to life on the show?
I don't know. You see, this is the thing. Who would you bring back?
So many, aren't there?
Well, yeah, but would you really want to bring anybody back? Because one of the hallmarks of the series is that it's just people just suddenly, abruptly die. And that's so true to life, isn't it? In many ways, that, when you die, it's abrupt and you're not expecting it, and it's sudden and it's all over. And so that's kind of an intrinsic truth about the whole kind of nature of power. That when it happens and it's gone, it's not what you anticipated, it's not how you envisioned it, it's just suddenly over, done. So I just leave it as it is.
I think that's one of the things about it, even though it is fantasy genre, it feels very plausible, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's inherently, there's a palpable sense of sort of brutal reality.
We look forward to seeing you in next, Fintan.
Tonight I'm like in Atlantis, but like blinking, you miss me. Supposedly I return at a later stage. But I have a scene with Mark Addy, at the front of the show. And it was almost like Game of Thrones. We were kind of in that cavern. It was all very dark, and we were having this very insinuating conversation about possible threat to one another. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. I've done this thing called the Bible, which is like Game of Thrones meets the Bible. And it's the most seen, most watched miniseries of all time. I know, it's a phenomenon. I think 150 million people have seen it in America, and it hasn't been released here yet. And
what does it feel to be in something like that?
Maisie is in it from Game of Thrones, and there's some Francis McGee played Yoren, was it Francis? Yeah. So there's a few Game of Thrones actors in it. I mean, it's an epic story, probably the greatest story ever told, but in many ways it's quite primitive and it's quite stripped down, because it's set in that terrain and that landscape where everything is raw, uninhibited in many ways, just sort of primitive, really, in a way.
I look forward to seeing that. I look forward to seeing you at Atlantis tonight. Thanks so much for talking to us, Fintan. It's been lovely to speak to you.